The annual meetings for the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference and the National People's Congress is covering more ground in its sixth day. Philanthropy is in focus Wednesday as a draft of China's first bill regulating charities was submitted to the national legislature. For more, we're joined by Hu Na live from Beijing.
Thanks, Rachel. On Wednesday, Li Jianguo, vice chairman of the NPC Standing Committee, introduced a draft of the charity law to NPC deputies. He says a charity law will help non-governmental sources work together to eliminate poverty, and it talked to lawmakers about their views and expectations.
The country's first charity law, a heated topic during the two sessions.
We see more and more people are making charity donations. It is a symbol of social development. Now the country wants to raise the legislation to national level. It is definitely a good thing.
In recent years, we have seen some incidents regarding charity activities, like the Red Cross Society incident, which aroused a huge public debate. It is an urgent need for the country to have a charity law to protect the charity industry.
The Chinese are getting rich and becoming more willing to give. A charity law is needed to guarantee donors' rights, help the underprivileged, and punish fraud. The message is very clear. NPC spokeswoman Fu Ying said in a press conference that the importance of the country's first charity law cannot be underestimated.
China has a tradition of helping the poor and needy. The amount of donations made by social entities and individuals reached 100 billion yuan, and that's roughly 15 billion US dollars in 2014, and that's a big rise from a 10 billion yuan in 2004. Lawmakers say there is an urgent need for a charity law that can protect the rights of the donors and punish fraud.
Lawmakers stressed transparency as the underlying factor for the vitality and credibility of charities, suggesting more specific methods for charitable organizations to disclose relevant information. They could take the disclosure systems of public companies for reference, and there should be more specific stipulations to define a, quote, timely disclosure.
By putting the draft charity law under discussion during the two sessions, it means giving to charity is not a rich person's privilege. Everyone in society has a responsibility to better understand and participate in charity activities.
The draft law also stipulates that online fundraising for charity ought to be covered by law, and legislation to cover this area will be expedited. Only social organizations and nonprofit government organizations designed for public welfare will be entitled to solicit donations from the public. All parties concerned, whether individuals or entities, will be required to register why they're launching an online campaign. The charity must also make public for proper supervision information on how any donations are collected and used.
Well, campaigns soliciting donations have become a popular means for many in urgent need of help. The popularity of such online fundraising highlights the need to better encourage and manage charitable donations. On the one hand, government at all levels are supposed to keep an open mind to online requests for donations. On the other hand, they should establish a legal and administrative framework to make sure that all donations end up in the hands of those in need. Rachel.
Now, Hu Na, what are some lawmakers saying about the controversial issues surrounding this draft?
One of the most controversial issues is that the draft says organizations and individuals should not seek to promote tobacco products or tobacco firms through the act of charitable donations. Some lawmakers say that the clause falls short, as charitable activities take various forms, including free clinics or fundraising, which are not included in the provision. Some lawmakers say that the many tobacco companies have been trying to gain market exposure by associating themselves with charity work, which is more detrimental to society than tobacco advertisements and can be especially misleading to young people. According to the Chinese Association on Tobacco Control, from November the 2nd, 2014 to February the 10th, 2015, there were 89 cases of tobacco sponsorship in China. So lawmakers suggested the law should ban all kinds of charitable activities involving the tobacco industry and include illegal accountability for lawbreakers. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Hu Na. They're live for us from Beijing.